This month is a really important month for me because it's my sweet 16 being in residential real estate. Way before these 16 years, I've been helping people buy homes and get investments. As a little kid, one of my favorite games to play was Parker Brothers Monopoly. Very easy tactics when you're playing Monopoly. You try to get these color segmented areas of the board, and then you try to create these little greenhouses, and then eventually you want to get the big red hotels. This is the same strategy in modern day residential real estate. We want to get investment properties and either rent them for a long period of time to one family, or you can make them little red hotels, and you can just Airbnb them out every single weekend and make a ton of cash. One of my good friends and past clients, Mr. Cedric and Miss Candace Trevino, took my advice, created a house, made it a hotel. Let's go check it out. Cedric, yes. Candace, thanks for hanging out with us today. I want to kind of go through this. I'm 16 years in the business. I have all of these clients and almost 2,000 transactions, and you can just imagine it's really rare to find some clients that actually do exactly what I said. They ask me for my opinion and they take it, which is kind of rare. So let's talk about the process and the home that we're in right now, how long you lived there, and kind of what was your inspiration to make the move?
Sure. So this was actually our very first home as husband and wife. Over the past 6 years, we've just really enjoyed our home, and I was actually really nervous to put it up as an Airbnb. I thought maybe just having the residual income of a, long-term rental, which is the safest route. Right. I just felt more comfortable with it. And it wasn't until you stopped by and came to look at the house that you were like, you should probably just Airbnb this house out. It's like gorgeous, and we don't know if a renter is going to be able to keep it in the shape that it is. For sure.
And we kind of went through those kind of scenarios, right? And so what was the biggest kind of turning point where you're like, you know what, I'm going to take the risk, I'm going to take the leap, and we're going to make this little hotel?
Yeah, so the biggest thing was probably that in all of our other investments were a little more risky, but with real estate, I wanted something that was just going to be solid and that we weren't going to really have to worry about. So we wanted to do it as a long-term rental, but we were really on the fence because we didn't want anybody to really kind of mess this place up after we put so much work into it. But we wanted to make sure that we weren't going to be upside down on a monthly basis. And with COVID going on, that's what we were really scared about. We weren't really scared about Airbnb the house. We were just worried about being able to have somebody in here for the short term with all that was going on in the world right now. And after I spoke with you, kind of did some research on the fact that people were still traveling, they still were coming to Texas a lot. It was going to be really easy to rent out.
Well, let's talk about that because the numbers never lie, right? So how fast did you guys get your first booking?
So we had the property photographed. We went live within 48 hours, and then 72 hours after that, we were booked solid for the next
4 months.
4 months.
So in 72 hours, this what would have been a vacant home booked for 120 days, give or take.
Yeah.
How much more lucrative do you think it is that you didn't do a long-term rental?
Yeah, it's gonna be twice as lucrative as if I would have had just a normal renter in here. We were gonna make a few $100s a month cash flow off of a long-term rental. We're way higher than that, even if somebody books with a huge discount for over a 28-day stay. So if we have more and more people in here in the month, we're making 3-4 times our rent or our mortgage payment. But if we have somebody in here that's for a long term, we're making definitely more than we would have if we would have had a long-term rental.
And Candace, I'm going to end it with you. So this place looks amazing.
Thank you.
You're absolutely. I mean, Cedric, I'm sure helped a little bit, but for the most part, talk about how was the transition? Did you leave stuff? Did you buy everything new, or what was the transition of now having to furnish 2 homes?
Sure. Well, it was mostly already furnished, at least all the bottom area. We had an office and a beauty room before that we utilized in lieu of having guest bedrooms. It's just, of course, the both of us, so we didn't need that much space. So when we left, we only had to furnish those 2 rooms. So really, I mean, it was already here. This is actually the house that we lived in.
This is all our stuff.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. So, long story short, Airbnb, great idea.
2 thumbs up.
I love
100%.
It. I love it. Well, if you're looking for an investment property and really trying to build some wealth, come call us. We're the Trey Group. You can contact us at 210-367-6024. We'll see y'all next week.